Number of disconnects. The service disconnecting means can consist of six switches or 6 circuit breakers mounted in a single enclosure or in a group of separate enclosures, but you have 6 disconnecting means. So the 7th one is a violation. Ryan?
I just wanted to kind of bring this up because we didn't cover it in Article 225. I think it's worth mentioning that the same rule here applies for buildings supplied by a feeder or branch circuit. So, in other words, the firefighters don't care if your building's supplied by a feeder or a service or a branch circuit.
And I should have covered a slide, and I should have had that in my PowerPoint about the 6 disconnects, and I apologize for not having that graphic on it. And I'm really glad you brought that out because you run a feed out to a remote building.
Right.
Well, you can have up to 6 disconnecting means if you want to at that remote building. The rules are very paralleling when it comes to this application.
And it's important because like Eric just said, and I don't know if you cut it or not, but he said, I don't work with services. Well, he's got a great, huge, several hundred acre facility with one service and about 1,000 buildings.
Yeah, because he's with Dow Chemical, and you're bringing, what voltage are you guys bringing in?
Feeders.
We bring in 345 kV.
Bingo.
And I was going to say this at the end of the section, but since it came up, I think it's critically important that people understand what exactly a service is. Because that's one of the biggest things I see, and I'm an industrial inspector. If you bring in a contractor trailer onto industrial property, it's being fed from a separately drive system. It's not a service, but people are likely to call it, oh, this is a service, and it's really not.
Okay. Service disconnect means we talk no more than 6. Now, there's no more than 6 disconnects per service. We say, okay, no more than 1 service per building, and then we had a whole list of where you can have more than 1 service. So here's a building that had more than 1 service. Well, then 6 disconnects on 1 service with a plaque. No more than 6 disconnects on the other service with a plaque. And we got to be sure that the grounding electrodes, when you have more than 1 service, on this graphic as well as the previous graphic, that they're all tied together because all grounds at buildings containing more than 1 service, this graphic as well as the one back on 230.2 need to show the connections of those. By the way, if you have if you have surge protection device, and sometimes they'll add a surge protection device, and they'll put a disconnecting means just for the surge protection device. We talked a little about SPDs, and that was the little ones that you put in the meter can. I showed you at the type 1 at the service equipment. Oh, we're going to be talking about that again in 285, which is going to be shortly. But anyways, your surge protection, type 1 is at the service, type 2 is at the feeders, type 3 is going to be at the branch circuits, type 4 is going to be at component items. You know, sometimes you can get a pretty large size service protection device, and you're going to put it at the service location, and then you have overcurrent protection for the surge protection device, but all it is just that one piece of equipment. The code says that disconnecting means is not considered one of the 6 disconnecting means limitations for services.